Okay, can you tell me what was the last session? Was it session 3 or session 4? I think it was session 4, right?
Yes.
Session 4, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So end of the session 4, we have learned a bit of arrays and how we fetch the elements within that array, right? Now that is a very good fundamental or this thing, very important thing in JavaScript, which is array destructuring. Destructuring of an array, because that is going to help you a lot in defining the variables, as well as in a very structured manner, you are destructuring the arrays. That means, let's say we have an array called num, and it's a numeric array having the values 5, 7, 2, and 4. 4 elements. 4 elements we have. So Deep, can you just mute your speaker? Hello, Deep.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Can you just mute it? Okay, thank you. Fine. So when you say nums, it's an array which is having 4 elements. Now, when you say you are saying console.log nums, it is expected to print the entire array as it is, right? Then when you say let var1, var2, var3, var4, now there are 4 elements. You are storing each of these elements in sequence according to the variables you have stated within the array, and you have assigned the entire array into, you are splitting up the array into individual variables. This is called destructuring. We can also skip a value in the array. Let's say you are assigning the entire array, but you are now specifying that this array of var1, var2, there is no variable here, and you have skipped the variable, and var4. So which one did you skip? You skipped the value 2, the element 2. So whenever you are printing console log var1, var2, var4, you are printing 5, 7, and 4. There is no confusion. Okay, fine. Now, using this concept of destructuring, we can do the swapping of the values. Earlier, you used to create a temporary variable, and you want to swap between A and B. You are creating a new variable or a temporary variable called C, where you are either holding the value of A or holding the value of B, isn't it? That is how you swap. But by using the concept of destructuring, what we do, we say that let's individual value is A is 5 and B is 6. We want to use the concept of destructuring using the concept of destructuring. We are trying to swap it in one single line. You see, I have not taken into a temporary variable into consideration. Here, on the left hand side, that means on the right hand side, you are giving the value, and here on the left hand side, you are assigning it as you do. Like here, A equal to 5, you are assigning 5 into A. Similarly, here now what you are doing, you are assigning the value of B, which is 6, into A in sequence, and the value of A, which is 5, into B. Isn't it good? It's a very nice way of understanding or swapping the values in one single line without much of a trouble. And then you are saying that I want to print the values of A and B. Now the value of A is 6 and value of B is 5. Right? Now, I can similarly do using a temporary variable. Let's see how it is done. Let's say you have nums. Nums is this 5, 7, 2, 4. You are assigned into variable 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you want to change the variable 2 and 4 of variable 3 and 4 into var1 and var2. So finally var1, var2, var3, var4 will be 2, 4, 5, 7. So this is the way you can do it. You assign the entire array into the splitting of the variables into individual variables, and then you are introducing a temporary variable a and b, where with the concept of destructuring, you are putting the value of var1, which is 5, and var2, which is 7, into a and b. So a is 5 and b is, so a equal to 5 as per your assignment, b equal to assignment through the destructuring of the array, and b is equal to what? 7. Right? Then you are saying that you are storing into var1. What is the value of var3? var3 is 2, and var2. So please tell me what will be the value of var2 after this destructuring?
4.
4. Very good. Very good. And finally, what will be the value of var3?
5. 5 and 6. 5 and 7.
5 and 7. Very good. So finally, you have arrived at your objective. You have swapped the values of all the individual 4 variables. And now your var1 is 2, 4, 5, and 7. It is just the reversed. It is reversed, but individually assigned. Okay. So it should be 2, 4, 5, 7. Now, there is another function with the array. It is called split function. Like you have the, in Oracle or somewhere, in everywhere, you have a delimiter. A delimiter, let's say you have a value like 1, 2, 6, 7, 9. And when you are storing into individual values, into individual variables, you want to have, let's say this is a string. And from this string, you want to pick up each of the values and put it into individual arrays, in individual numeric variable. So you do not want to use the comma. So comma can be split up. Comma is a delimiter. To do that, what you do, let's say you have an entire string called words, or you can give any name. It's a variable only. It's a string variable. You say my name is Devashish Pal from PCS Global Technology Java. Now, when you say you are printing this, you are printing the entire thing, but will it print like a string? Will it print like my name is Devashish Pal from PCS Global Technology Java? Or will it print like my, comma, name, comma, or each individual as a string? My, comma, name, comma, is, comma, Devashish, comma, Pal. So we are not, will you print like this, or you are going to print like my name is Devashish Pal from PCS Global Technology. Will you print like this, or will you print like this? So which one do you think will be printed?
The first one.
First one. Okay, we'll see. Now we say we are giving a variable word split by the name. We say words. Now this is an array of string, isn't it? The string is nothing but an array of characters. Now this words is the variable name, dot split. Split is a function. Now you are saying that I want to split the entire string into individual elements, because I want to split it by, I have a delimiter called space, this blank space. So I give a space between single quote. So what will happen is that it will split the entire string into individual elements of array. So this is one array element, first element, second element name, is another element, Devashish is another element, and each of this word will be one of the elements in an array, because we have tried to split up. Now basically the importance of printing or putting the entire string like this into an array is that because then we can manipulate the string. And then we are now, when you are printing it, you are going to see something like this. My as an one individual element, name. And of course, you are going to see this within. This is an array. It has become an array. Word split. Now, the importance of this word split is that I can individually assign all these elements into variables. Fine. So when you say A, B, and you have given a no variable here, D and E. So can anybody tell me what is going to be stored in A?
Then my
And B?
name.
And D?
Devashish.
Very good. That is missing because is not being held by any variable. But since you have given us a colon, comma, so you are maintaining the sequence. That means you are trying to skip this is, and you are putting this Devashish into variable called D, and E will be similarly, PAL. Whenever you are printing this, you are saying my name Devashish Pal, not is. Another thing is that you want to store everything after from this point of Devashish. What you do, you can either, you do not want this my name, or maybe you want my name. Okay, so you say A for my, B for name, do not pick up is, and you give, like in Java you have learned about that you do not have to mention the number of variables. It is called varargs. Remember, or you have forgotten?
Yes, sir.
Varargs. So there is a variable number of arguments, but everything is stored into D. That means whatever starting from Devashish, that is after is, will be stored into D. And this array variable under D. So now you print console D, you will see that this entire string from Devashish Pal from PCS Global Technology Java will be stored under array D as individual elements. Let us now, what we have learned about the concept, let us print it. Okay, let us invoke a new terminal. Okay, let me remove this. Let us have one terminal only. Node. And what do we say? It is arrays. It is a long word. So what we do? Just press tab. Now let us see from the beginning what we are doing. Here the nums is 5724, but we are printing var1, var2 without any variable nums. So this var1, var2, var4 will be 5, 7, and 4 because 2 you have left out. That is the beauty of destructuring. And you are simply printing 5, 7, and 4. Now similarly, here you swap the position, swap the values. So A will be 6, yes, A will be 6 and B will be 5, fine. Now again, this nums is 5724. So you are printing 2457 because we have swapped. Correct? 2457, yes. So in the splitting, what we say, first of all, we are printing these words. So it is printing as a string, full string. It is not an array. Yeah, of course, you can say that a string is an array as well, but fine. For this time being, it is considered as a string, entire string. But whenever you are splitting it with a delimiter space, that means those individual elements, the string will be divided into individual elements. What is those elements? It is called my, comma, name, comma, is, Debashish, Pal, from, PCS, global. So it is sort of an array. Each individual element separated by a comma. All string. Fine. Now, under this word split, we are putting A, B, nothing, D and E. So whenever you are printing A, B, D and E, so here you see you have printed this thing because you have printed the entire thing as an array. But here you are individually printing the values to the variables. So here it will be my name. There you see that is missing because you have not put that is into any variable. So here my name Debashish Pal. Fine. And after that you have put the entire string into an array element called D, which is a var args. So all these elements picked up individually and put it into D as an array. So here you see that this is an array with individual elements Debashish, Pal, separated by comma, from, PCS, global, technology, Java. These are each individual elements. Position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 6 elements, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 elements. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Let me remark this. Are you able to follow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, that's good. We see another thing, how you iterate through the arrays. Okay, here we just put in, okay, fine. Let us use this section. What is the array for each method? Like you want to iterate through the array using for each. And the importance of for each is that whenever you are iterating through the array like nums, you can do your operations using the lambda operation. Like you are not only picking up the values 42, 51, 24, that is fine. You can do with for each. But within that for each, you are iterating through the array plus doing something else. So this entire thing is a function. And this is enabled through for each. That is the beauty of using for each. What we are doing here, that we are saying nums and we are calling a method called for each such that we can iterate through the nums array, but at the same time we are using expression like lambda expression. You see double arrow. And what is this? An anonymous function, because a lambda expression can be used with an anonymous function. We are not naming any function here, but we are passing an argument in that function, anonymous function. What is that argument? Is nothing but individual elements picked up by for each from that array nums. Are you getting me? So first of all, we have picked up 42. So 42 has been passed in as an argument in that function, anonymous function. And lambda expression within this block, what we are doing, we are trying to manipulate that. What we are manipulating, we are saying sum. Sum is 0. 0 plus n. N is what? 42. So what is the result stored in sum? It is 42. You are saying that I am going to print the value of n. What is the value of n? 42. And what is the cumulative sum equal to? It is also 42. So first of all, it will print 42. Cumulative sum equal to 42. Right? Next, it is going to, because till it is empty, it will keep on iterating. That is the beauty of this for each. Now, next time it is picking up 51. So what is the value of sum? It is 42 plus 51. It is giving, say, 93. And it is saying 51. And the cumulative sum is but 93. So similarly, it's going to 24, 98, 65, 12. So some value, thus the final value will be printed. Correct? We are just giving a tilde, this thing, just to differentiate. Now there is another way. Like when you are saying that you are passing only one individual parameter, there is no need for, you are reducing the logic again a bit more. Here, you do not need to give any function brackets. You do not need to give, because you know that it is just the elimination. Lambda is nothing but elimination of the nodes. Whichever you know, you need to eliminate. So in this, you already know that this is a function and I'm passing one parameter. So why to give a bracket? So JavaScript is beautiful like this. It gives you the minimum number of code that you can do with. So the rest is the same. But here, what is the difference between this and this? Here we have taken away the brackets of the function. We understand that this is an anonymous function because we are using lambda expression, as well as we are passing only one argument. So why do we need to give a single bracket of a function? This will work. This will give the same thing as this. Another use. Now, this is one beautiful use of for each. For each, whenever you are exceeding number of arguments more than one, what it does, as you mentioned, the first argument, it is the element. The second argument is the index of the array. And the third argument is nothing but the array itself. So what you are doing, you are specifying that I want to pick up the first element from the first index position, that is 0, position number 0, and what is the array is the nums. So I'm picking up 42 first for each, and I'm printing this. So what is, and here we need to enclose because we are using more than one parameter. So we need to, here we need to give a single bracket. It is a must. Okay. Yes, Shraddha, you can leave. There is nothing important than your anybody's health problem. Health issue is the primary issue.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, okay. And take care. Okay. This
Yes,
is
sir.
the change of season and everyone should take care. I'm also affected. I'm not also well. But
Yes, sir.
we need to take utmost care. Thank you, Shraddha.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, so what we were discussing is if whenever you have more than one parameter, you will have all this. You have to include within the brackets. There is no other way. Therefore, you are giving a lambda expression with brackets, anonymous function. What you are doing, this function is only printing out the values. What do you think? What will be the value of n first? What will it print?
42.
42. What will it print as I?
0.
0. Very good. It is the index position of 42. Whichever it is picking up, it is automatically doing that. You do not have to say that I equal to I plus 1. No, no need. Whichever element it is picking up, it is picking up the index position as well. And what is this nums? Nums is the entire array. It is going to print each time the entire array, right? So this is also one way. Okay. Let us run this. We are invoking a new terminal, and here we say CLS and FH. Okay. First of all, let us see what is we are going to for each. Now here it is printing 42 and cumulative sum 42 because 0 plus 42 is 42. Here it is printing 51 because the next element is 51 and the cumulative sum is not 51, it is 93 because 42 plus 51 is 93. So like the aggregation, it is the aggregation. So finally the result is 292. The entire summation of all this becomes 92, the 292. So last element picked up was 12. So you see 42, 51, 24, 98, 65 and 12. The second one for each. For each. Here also the same thing. Here the difference only is that we have not given a single bracket. That is not needed, but it works here. Now the last one. Last one you say nums for each. You have to mention nums and dot because this for each is a function of an array. Iterative. So n is 42 and it is 0 index position and this is the entire array. Similarly, 51 1, 24 2, 98 3, 65 4. There is the fourth element, the fifth element, and the sixth element is 12. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sixth element is 12. Yes, sixth element is 12. Okay, what you do, let me get a bit of clarity on this. Now we say num. So can I do like this? If I say let I equal to 4, fine. Let us see what will it print. Can anyone give guess what will be the values of I? First time value is 42n. What will be the value of I?
4.
4. Okay. And so next time, what will be the value of I? I mean, next loop, the value this 51. And what will be the value of I?
It would be a 5.
Will it be 5? Okay, let's see. So somebody is saying that the first time the value of I is I equal to 4, then 5, then maybe 6 and 7 and 8 and onwards, right? But let's see. Just think logically. This is a function and I is the middle parameter, the second parameter. It knows that I need to pick up the index position of the element that I have picked up. Okay. Still your answer is this thing? You see, though I have initialized I to 4, but for each has its own method or logic. So I becomes, because it has picked up n, which is 42, it has picked up 42 from the 0th position. Index value is 0. So it will not be 4. And it will not be 5 the next time. It will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, okay, understand. I have understood this. Doesn't work. Okay, what happens if I say I equal to I plus 2? Okay, can I do that? Yes, I can do that. So now what is the value of I before it prints I?
Sir, 0, 2, 4.
0,
2, 4.
0,
Index number 0, 0, 2, 4.
0, 2, 4, that way onwards, right? Let's see what it does. See, what is the first time the value it is picking up?
0.
0. So 0 plus 2, it will it be 0? Let us check that. Okay, whatever the value of I it is, what will be the next time it is picking up? Now the current value of I is either 2 or something like it's most probably 2. So now it is picking up 51. What is the I value? What is the I value? Will it be 1 or 2? Okay, let me explain through that output. I think you have understood what I'm trying to explain. Okay. See, first time there is no doubt. There is no doubt it is 2. It is 2 because I is 0. I is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. So it should be 2. And what is the next time? What is the value of I next time? Even if the value is 2, it is not actually 2 when it picks up because it is picking up 51 from the first position number 1. So I becomes 1. So 1 plus 2, which is 3. So it becomes 3. So any guess what will be the next value? Next value of I is 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4. Here it becomes 4. So next time, what is the value of I? It is 3. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Correct? That is why we are seeing it is initially starting with 2, then 3. Though the value of position of index I is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But you see that because you have in that function itself, this is a function, anonymous function. You have incremented the value of whatever it has been picked up from this position by for each index position. It is incremented that value by 2. That's all. Nothing else. Is it clear? Everyone?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Is it clear? Any doubts?
No, sir. No.
Yeah. So just remember that for each function will pick up the numeric, the value, whatever value it is picking up, it will pick up the index position of that value, of that element. Better to say element. If that is clear, then we can remark this section and we go to the next one. This one is very important for an interview purpose, for your programming skills purpose. What we are doing, you will often hear the term map reduce in JavaScript. Map reduce. This is a concept, a very important concept. You are treating an array is an object, but still you are using that array as a collection object. How? We are using a filter, map, and reduce. So these are the three important terms for our interview purpose. Okay. So if you are aware of array, you are very good. But if you do not know about filter, map, and reduce, your interviewer might not be very happy with you. So you say, let's say we know an array which is num. Okay, we can, okay, fine. We have already remarked everything. So we can say let. Otherwise, there is a issue because you will be a duplicate declaration otherwise. But here, since this is the first section, fine. We are declaring it and we have to declare like that. This is an array 42, 51, 24, 98, 65, and 12. There are 6 elements. Now, out of the whole array of the elements, we want to only pick up the even ones only. So what you are doing, you are using a filter into this array. You are applying a filter into this array. What is the array? Array is nums. An array has a function called filter. And within that filter, that is the beauty of this thing, that you can apply your own logic. So it is a user defined, it's an abstract function, you can say. That JavaScript has given you this filter name only, an abstract function only. But whatever you want to implement, you do it within that function using the filter. But this name is very important to nums array because it understands that I'm trying to do something as a filter. But within that filter function, this is your logic. It is not JavaScript that is giving the logic. What you are doing here as a logic, you are saying that within the filter, I'm saying n. N means whatever. See, this is again a function, a lambda expression function or an anonymous function. But since you are passing only one parameter, just now you have learned, right? That you do not need to give a bracket. So remember, this is a function, anonymous function. You are using a lambda expression. And within that lambda expression, what is that? Within this is a block. If you want to give it this thing, but since it is on a single line, you do not need to. Okay. Otherwise, it is just a block because a function should be within a block of curly braces. But here, since it's a single line, single statement, you do not need. What you are doing here within that function is that saying that n is the first element that is given up by from the nums array. The first element is n, 42. So 42% divide 2. That is the integer division by 2. So will it have any remainder?
No, sir.
No. So I'm saying that if the remainder is 0, equal to, that is, I'm giving a strict check, strict equal to. So in that case, I will print only the even number. Whenever this condition is satisfied, I will print n. because I'm printing console log. I'm using console.log. So what will it print from this array? It will print with the filter function of this. It's a bit complicated. If it is not a complicated thing because you already understand, but for a first time user who doesn't have understood all these earlier topics, what we have learned, for him it will be a bit difficult to understand what is this, how this n comes into picture. He has to remember this n is nothing but a function argument, and that function is an anonymous function, and this is a lambda expression. But since you know, because you have been learning these topics, it is very simple for you, isn't it? By seeing this, you will immediately understand that I'm using an anonymous function within that filter function, and I'm using a condition that if I divide this first element with 2, I should not get, because this is an integer division. If I do not get anything, that is, if the remainder is 0, definitely this is an even number. 42 is an even number. See how simple it is. I have to just write one line of code in JavaScript. In Java, I have to write at least 2 or 3 lines. Another one. Here, I am changing the filter condition or the filter function a bit. I'm saying that when I pick up this first element and integer division of 2, I do not get a result of 0, then definitely this one is a odd number, an odd number. So it will filter and print only those which are odd numbers based on this condition. That's all. So the entire array will be filtered based on this condition, and it will, whenever this condition is satisfied, it will print that element only. So in the first case, it will print 42, 24, 98, and 12. In the second part, it will print 51, 65. Fine, because these are odd. Again, now you have seen filter. You are trying to use filter with for each. You just have learned about for each. With for each, you can use a lambda expression with whatever you have picked up. Okay. What we do is we say nums dot filter. Now nums is very important because nums is the array. On this you are using a filter function, and here you are using a lambda expression as we have done here. We are saying that we are trying to find out whether in this anonymous function, whether when the first element is an even or odd. If it is even, that is, it is returning a 0 remainder, then for that particular value, if it is 42, yes, it is even. Then apply for each on this 42. So 42 dot for each, and what is the element? What is this element signifying? I'm
42.
not 42. This is the argument. So basically this is a method, but anonymous method, as we just remember, since we are passing only one, we do not need to provide to JavaScript compiler anything like that. It understands that you mean to say that this is one argument of the anonymous function, and that element is nothing but 42, because 42 you have picked up first, and it is even. This condition is satisfied, so it has picked up 42. 42 dot for each element, and you are just printing that element. That's all. So it will first time print out 42. Will it print 51?
No, sir.
No. Will it print 24?
Yes.
Yes. Will it print 98? Yes. Will it print 65? No. Will it print 12? Yes. So see the beauty. Either you can directly say like this, or you can see, remember, don't miss out this dot. This dot is very important. If you do not give this dot signifies what? This dot is nothing but the result of this, the result of the expression lambda of lambda. So what is the result of the expression lambda? It is picking up 42. So here you mean to say, you do not mean say n dot 42. Okay, there is no need. You can mention, but it is understood. Always try to give something which is least. You definitely understand that n is returning 42, but you can do that, but do not do that, because otherwise, what is the difference between you and you as a good programmer and one who is a bad programmer or poor programmer? A poor programmer will try to explain everything, each and everything. They will say n dot for each, but I know it is, I know it. So why do I have to mention it? But I have to mention this dot. Okay. Did you see one thing? Once you press dot, immediately this filter has come. That is, this dot is an output of this filter. And that output you are using for each. So that output is an element, argument, and that element you are printing out. So you are printing out 42. Then you are printing out 24 because this condition is satisfied. Then you are 98. 65 doesn't satisfy this condition, so it will not be picked up. 12 is the condition. Now, can you say this? And also you want to print out I. Can you do this? Yes or no? Since I have given more than one parameter, I'm putting them within brackets. But can I do this? My question is. And what will be the value? First value, this element, any doubt whether it will be 42 or not?
No.
Yes or no?
Yes, this will be 42.
42. So what will be the value of I?
It will be first time 0.
It is
0.
0. So 42, comma 0. Okay. What will be the value next time? Because it is
24.
for each loop.
Yes.
It will be
24.
20.
4.
And what will be the value of I?
It should be 1.
1 or 2?
Yes, sir.
I think it should be 1.
What is the index position of 24?
2.
So just now we have learned, right? Okay. And so you are getting your concepts clear, very clear, right? Here we have given anonymous function, but with more than one element. That's why we have given these brackets, and then we are printing the element. But remember, whichever element will be picked up for an even number, it has to pick up the corresponding index number. That's all. Now, similarly, you can print the odd numbers, right? You can print the odd numbers, yes. And similarly, you can print with the index position, right? See, I is a new value because the scope of I is lost when you come out of this. So I can reuse it. Okay. Now, so what till for what we have seen a filter and a combination of filter and a for each. Why we are using instead of console log, we are using for each because you can still do some manipulation. Okay, because within the for each, you can give a lambda expression and do something more than one statements. Another, here we come with map. What is happening with map? Suppose there is a situation where you want to not only iterate through the array of each element picked up. Let's say here we are again picking up an even number where it is triple equality sign and 0. That means it is picking up an even number if this condition is true. Then what we are going to do, we want to do some operation. We want to do some operation with a map. Now this map is sort of a collection. We are trying to do some operation with a lambda expression that is within the map. You are trying to pass in a function. Okay. So what it is picking up? First of all, it is picking up 42. Fine. It is within that 42, that is n or 42. N or 42. As I said, you do not need to mention here. So we say element that is that n or that whatever that argument, which is 42. 42 into 2. What is the value? 48. So that 48 is now passed as an argument for each. And you are printing what? You are printing 48. 42, 84. Sorry, 84. So you are printing first of 84. So you understand the meaningful use of you could have done it the map function over here also, but it is better to know that first of all you filter it, you pick up the data. Filtering means you pick up, screening out the data. Then do something with that data through map. And after that, you use another function called for each for that element and do some other manipulation. And finally, it's sort of a function. This is also a function. So do whatever. Here I'm just printing out the value. Similarly, here I want to cumulatively, I want to have an aggregate. Let's say the same thing what you have done here. Cumulative. Yeah. Similarly, I want to do it, but in a very best programming practice, because here I am just using few functions which are going to give me results very fast. Now result, let result equal to nums. So whatever this operation is, we'll put the value into result. Okay, because we are only interested with the cumulative, the final result. I do not want to print each and every cumulative one. What you do is nums.filter. N is just an argument value, argument variable. That's all. And since it is only one argument, you do not need to give a brackets. You say lambda expression. You are picking up only the even ones. Fine. Once that even one is picked up, that is 42. Then map, like similarly here you are doing the double. You are making it double, and then you are saying reduce. So you are reduce. You are saying num1 comma. This is again a function. Reduce will happen with the filter, with the map, and then reduce. Map reduce. You cannot give a reduce just after filter. You say num1, num2. What is num1 and num2? And then these are the arguments. That is, you are passing in num1 and num2. So what will be added with what? Can anybody tell me what will be the result of this reduce? What is num1? Okay. But are you understanding that whatever the entire array will be searched for, filtered for all even numbers, and each of these even numbers picked up and multiplied by 2, that even number will be doubled, and then you are using reduce to some expression. That is, you are aggregating the value. We run this. We are executing this within the new terminal. And then we are saying, we are trying to find out. So this is an array. What we are trying to see that first, this particular statement, it is printing out the even numbers. So what are the even numbers? 42, 24, 98, and 12. And what is the odd number? 51 and 65. Any doubt? No. So this portion is correct. This is what we wanted. Another thing, we want to print out the even numbers, but using filter and for each. Fine. So it is printing that even numbers are 42. And what is now? See. Okay, I told something wrong. Oh, what it does, it creates an array of all the even numbers. So it will create an array of even numbers saying, so this is my mistake, 42, 24, 98, and 12. So after it has created an array of all the even numbers, it will be 0, it will be 1, it will be 2, and it will be 3. So 4 elements. So naturally it will print 42, 0, 24, 1. Sorry, I am mistaken. It should be according to the array index position. The array is even array, even number array, and it will be naturally 0, 1, 2, and 3. Similarly, for the odd ones, it will pick up only 2 elements, 51 and 65 in position 0 and 1. Correct? Because these are new arrays. Let us go to map. What it does, filter, map, and then for each. So printing even, now you are multiplying it by 2. So what is the first even number? 42. 42 into 2 is 84. The next one is 24. 24, right? So 24 into 2 is 48. Next one is 98. So it is 196. And the last one is 12. It is 24. Fine. Are you happy with this output? So it is filter and map and for each. Now we come to reduce. What is reduce? We are trying to do something more on the elements that we have printed. So can we understand that num1 and num2? What is num1? Okay, for your
Sir, it is a parameter.
parameter, but what is the value of this parameter? Yeah, these are the first parameter and the second parameter.
I think it would be 0.
It will be 0, correct? Because nowhere you have defined num1. And the num2 is nothing but this, whatever the value is. So first of all, it will be 0 plus 84 and stored in num1. So what is the next time the num1 value is?
84.
Num1 value is
84.
84. And what will be the num2? Num2 is
48.
this one, 48. Okay. So 84 plus 48 is what?
196.
No. 84 plus 48. That will be stored again in num1.
132.
132. And 132 now, 132 plus 196. It's a cumulative one. Cumulative. So first time you have to understand that this is 0 and this is this value. Then you will understand that it will keep on. So this is sort of reducing. It is aggregating. It is aggregating. Isn't it nice? So when you say, are you able to see my screen on calculator?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, you are saying 0 plus 84. Okay. Equal to what? 84. Now, 84 plus 48 equal to 132. So 132 plus 196, right? 328. 328 plus 24. So you are getting 352, right? Any questions? Anyone having any question?
Yes, sir.
You have a question? Or
Yes, sir. So is there num2 is defined?
num2 is not defined. This is a function. It knows that whenever I get a first parameter like this, whatever the name is, name doesn't, you do not worry about name. It can be num1 or it can be whatever. It can be number 1. Doesn't matter. When you say number 1 in that case. But still your result will be the same. So let me run this again. You see, the result doesn't change. So don't worry about this. The first argument, whenever reduce, is a function. It's a function defined by JavaScript. It knows that it can work on the map and reduce the thing the way you want it. Here, it is again an abstract function given by this thing. But here you are saying reduce knows that whenever I am getting an anonymous function where the first argument is whatever this argument, then the argument first value is always 0. And the second argument will hold the result of this output. So first time it has picked up ELM as 42 and ELM you have made it to 84. So 0 plus 84. So 0 plus 84. And it holds that value into number 1. This reduce knows how to do that. So you do not have to say number 1 equal to number 1 plus num2. But can you say? You can say. Let me run this again. See, the result is still this. But when you are using lambda expression, always remember whatever the knowns are, like this is already known, that the result of this will be stored into number 1. So why do you have to mention it? So JavaScript helps you to reduce your code such that You do not have to write whatever you know. You know that it is the result is going to be stored in number one. Therefore, I can mention that, but that is the difference between you as a good programmer and someone as a bad programmer or a poor programmer. Now it is clear that basically what internally you are doing is number one equal to number one, which is 0 plus 84, and that result is 84 stored in number one. So next time this number one becomes 84 and num2 becomes 48 into sorry, this one is 48 because 24 into 2 48. So number one which was 84 plus 48. Okay, and that result is stored in number one again. So that number one will be number. So this is, you know, already it will keep on repeating till all the array has been finished. Array of even number has been finished or iterated through. This combination of map, reduce, filter, map, reduce is the most important chapter of, if you are dealing with arrays, you need to know this. If you know arrays but do not know filter, map, and reduce, you will not be able to write programs in your Angular or React.js. Or you might need to debug somebody else's program. You will, if you do not know what filter they have used, or what is the meaning of filter, what is meaning of map and reduce, you will not be able to understand the other programmer's work, and you will therefore not be able to modify it or maintain it, right? So that is one of the important duties of a programmer, that you are going to work in a corporate organization. So understanding these things are very important. Is it clear now? Any questions?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Any doubt? See, like Newton asked why the apple is falling down, is apparently for us it is a very foolish question, but for Newton this has actually changed the world. So no question is a silly question. Do not be afraid of asking questions, because in your question, simple question, might lie a big solution. So never hesitate in your career to ask questions to your manager, to your lead developer, or to yourself. Ask questions to yourself. There is no foolish questions at all. Very good. So we have come to an end of this thing. Now, app. You see, there is we have given a name to this. We were discussing some that day. Rehan was saying that we can use template literal. We were discussing something like within the tick. Here we are just discussing that same topic. Let num1 equal to 9 and num2 equal to 10. What is the result? It is 19, right? Now, you can do this way, that console log, the addition, then close the quotes, plus num1, because you want to print the value of num1, which is 9, plus again quotes, and again quotes closed, plus num2, plus again quotes is colon quotes plus result. Is it convenient, or you do something like this? You say console.log, fine, I'm going to print, but why do I need to type so many times of quotes, double quotes, and then plus and this and that? Why don't I do something like using a tick? This one, you will find it on the tilde, on the very upper leftmost, below the escape key of your keyboard. Okay, you say a tick, opening tick, the addition of. Now I am just giving the same thing, but in this a very smart way of doing programming. This is called the literal, and this is the template. This within within the tick. So whatever you do within the tick is the template, and within the template you have a literal defined or declared like this dollar, because you want to pick up the value of num1, not num1 as a string. So you are going to print the addition of 9 and 10 is 19. Isn't it smart way of doing rather than this? Any questions? Another important thing is, suppose you in Java or somewhere else, you have to mention /n if you want to print the following one, or rather you will say like this. But here we using the template literal. Within the template, I just want to print Devashish Pal, and with an arrow after the first line, which is my name is. I just want to print in 2 lines the entire string, but the entire string I have given within the tick. Here, wherever I want a break, line break, I just paste enter. So no need to use /n, new line character, for a new line and using a tick. Okay. Now, here the problem is, here what I do, I am just using the application of a tick. For that, I am using an example. Let's say there are 100, say 1 to 100. These are the values. I am going to loop through it, and I will pick up only those which are exactly divisible by 3. Okay. And I will only print those values. So what I'm doing is, I am creating a loop for let I equal to 1. You can avoid this let as well. For I equal to 1, I less than 100, I plus plus. Yeah, you know this. Let result, or you may avoid using this one. Let result I %3. That means it is integer division of 3. If it is equal to 0, that means if there is no remainder, that means it is exactly divisible by 3, then I will return true. Else, I will return false. So, and again checking if result equal to, I cannot give a capital T, because then it will not match, and because I have used this one. Strict checking, strict equality. And I am using a tick to just print the value, a dollar and the curly braces and the variable I. That's all. So what is the first value that it will be printed?
3.
First value will be
3.
3. Next.
9. 9.
6.
9.
9. Okay. Similarly, you can print all the prime numbers. So that is your task. But using a template literal. Don't use anything within double quotes. I want you to give me a program, write a program to print out all the prime numbers within 1 to 100 numbers. Correct? Will you be able to do that? Okay, you try to do that. I will like to see that from you. Now, I have a number 2356. I am checking while that number is not equal to 0, number is greater than 0. While the number is greater, so we will continue the loop till the num, this value is greater than 0. Okay. What you are trying to do is, basically you are trying to print it in the reverse order. So in the reverse order, we have understood what in one other program, which we have done in Java, that what you do, you take the entire number, you integer division of, do the integer division of 10. So what is the integer division of 10 for this? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What will it print? What will it print?
2, 3, 4, 5.
6, sir.
No. 2, 3.
Till 5. In case of remainder, it will give 6.
Okay. This is remainder what?
6.
It will have a remainder of 6. Correct. So then you say num equal to % of num divided by 10. What is num?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct. Divided by 10. What will be the value of num divided by 10?
2, 3, 4, 5.
No.
2, 3, 4, 5.6.
2, 3, 4, 5.
0.6.
0.6. Yes. Because you are dividing it by 10. So it will shift. Where is the decimal? Decimal is here. Decimal. This is called this thing in decimal representation and double representation. So whenever you divide this by 10, then this dot will shift here. This is the basic mathematics. Right? So here it will print this. But whenever you say %, it will pick up what?
2, 3, 4, 5.
2, 3, 4, 5. So num, is it greater than 0? Yes. So what will it print? Basically, what is the idea? First of all, it will print what is num integer division of 10. First of all, the num was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it will print 6, right? In the next line, you are storing 2, 3, 4, 5 as a num. This is true condition. It entered. So what is num of integer division of 10? It will be 5, right? You're just printing it. What will be the next value? It will be 4. What will be the next value? Printed, it will be 3. What will be the next value? So did I reverse it? So instead of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I am printing 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Correct? Now, so this is, you are printing 6 in one line, next line 5, 4, 3. So there are 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rows you are printing 6, 5, 4. So you are going to print like this: 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Right? But if you want to print it together, what will you do? Now the next solution, next problem issue is, now your manager says, no, I do not want this printout to be in each of the lines. I want you to print it like, I want you to print it as a single number: 6, 5, 4, 3, as if this. So you immediately think that I can do a string concatenation. I can do a string concatenation. What I do? As I say, this is the quotient. This is quotient. You have learned this. So immediately it converts the reverse num into what? What type of variable? Whenever you say let reverse num equal to within quotes something, nothing, I mean within quotes. So basically you are assigning a string, empty string into reverse num. So what will be the type of reverse num?
String.
String. It takes the shape of the value. Is num greater than 0? Yes. While it is greater than 0, you enter here. Reverse num is reverse num plus num %10. So whichever the value is, see, this is a numeric value. This num is a numeric value variable and %10. So it will pick up 6. And what is reverse num? It is string, empty string. So empty string plus num, I mean a numeric value, which is 6. What will be the value of reverse num? Will it be 6 or which one?
The second one.
Second one, you don't have to have any loss of confidence. You are very confident that it has to be a string, because here we have assigned this as a string variable. Okay. So whenever you are putting something, doing an operation, so here this operation, because of coercion, it will store this value as a string. String plus a number is a string. Because you can always, everything as a digit, you can hold this as a, but you cannot, if it's a number, if it's a numeric variable, you cannot store a string. That's the reason you have done this. Again, you are reducing the value. Now it was 2, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you have reduced that num into 2, 3, 4, 5 by using %. So whatever the decimal portion will be taken out. You are only picking up the integer part, int. And this will process till it is greater than 0. Finally, a stage will come when it is less than 0. Okay. So let us run this. Now this is called app. So let us go in the beginning. You say the addition of, see, the addition of 9 and 10 is 19. Find in one line using the string literal, template literal. And again, I wanted this one in the first line, then this one in the second line. So I have used just an enter key. But within everything within the tick. So what it is printing? There was my name is in the first line, and then there was Ishmael. Correct? And here you are printing all the numbers divisible by 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, onwards till 99. And then you're coming out of the loop because it should not be greater than 100, greater or equal to 100. Fine. You see, you are printing just the I within the tick as a literal. And finally, you are printing here because you are using this, you're reversing it. So 6, but in a very different line, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. And here you are doing it in one line because you are using as a string. This is a string plus, so these are empty string plus 6. Then 6 plus 5. You have picked up 5, then picked up 4. So 6, 5 with 65. You are not 65, 6, 5. You are adding 4. Then you are adding 3 with 654 and then 2. So 65432. Is it okay? So this topic is just to understand about the template literal. Any doubts? Any doubt, anyone? Aishwarya, Ankit, Arnab, Ashish, Deep, Kundan, Rajshekar, Rehan. Clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. Very good. So we are almost towards the end. We have just one topic left, two topic left. What is set? Set, as you know, you have learned in Java. It is one of the collection tools. So the set is a class. So we need to create an object with new set with new. New is and set is the constructor. Set is unique. You cannot add duplicates in set. Set, you already know all these things from the Java collection class, collection topic. Set does not have indexes. Definitely, it will not have indexes. But unlike Java and most other languages, set will be accessing the values in an ascending order. Set is a data structure introduced an ES. ES, now many times you will encounter this word ES. This is a standard organization. This is a standard ECMA script. Now this is a standard body which will allow for any JavaScript release versions. That there will be many alpha beta versions, and finally whenever you want to get the production version of it, the release version of it, you have to pass it through ECMA. You can also write a JavaScript function, or it is an open standard, but you have to get that thing sanctioned and approved, and it will be incorporated in some release of JavaScript. That is called ECMA script, and the latest version is 6. Otherwise, see, it's the main problem of the open platform is that many developers will be there, they will be writing it, but they are not following standards. So if you have to follow the standard, you have to be guided by some guideline or some body which gives you the guideline. You cannot write anything and put it into JavaScript, or for that matter, any other body. So there is a consortium which will approve your module, which you are going to add into JavaScript. If it follows all the standard and it's a new thing, it's a unique thing, it has not yet been added by any other developers all over the world, so it will be accepted. Your code will be accepted, and you will be getting a lot of money out of this from Java and that consortium, because you are giving a utility to the already this language. That is why the languages are getting developed. How? Set collections will not allow duplicate values. So whenever you say let nums equal to new set, this nums becomes a set class, set object. This is the collection object, but it's an object because you have used a class called set. Now, once you have this nums as a set collection, a set object, you can add, you can use a function called add. You are adding 3, you are adding 4, 3, 3, 4, and Devashish, Nischal, Shual, Seth, Nischal. So what will be now? See, again, since this is a collection, I can use for each to iterate through this thing, and within that, I can use the argument. There is a nice function called has. It is saying that if that array or the collection of the set is not empty, not nums dot has, an empty string. If this is true, you are going to loop through that. I loop through that set. What the set is nums dot for each. For each, this is an anonymous function with an argument elm, which is nothing but the first element. You are printing the elements. You are printing through the entire set and printing the element. Now, can anybody tell me what will be the output? What will be
3,
the
4,
huh?
3, 4. Debasis, Nischal, Suel set.
Anything? Sure.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. We open a terminal. It's very simple because you already know set in Java, so there is not a problem. Yes, 3, 4. What we have done, 3, 4. Devashish, Nischal, and Swell set. Correct. Now, what? Now what? You see,
It would be
this is not
the
duplicate.
last set.
Yeah, this is not duplicate with this cell. Again, this is a equality sign. So this equality will be checked with this internally. That set function add will try to do this. It will try to match Nischal with Nischal, and it doesn't find a match. So it is not a duplicate, right? So it is not a duplicate in the true sense of the term. Even this is not a duplicate. Because this is small letter n. Correct? Very simple. Now we come to map. Similarly, you know about map because you have learned it in Java. Okay, what is map? Like the difference between map is a data structure introduced in ES6. What is that? ECMAScript 6. Now map is a class or a collection object. Fine, you know that. Map does not have index number. Okay, but use an implementation of key value pair. Difference between map and set is set also doesn't have an index number, but unlike set, this has a sort of an implementation key value pair. You know that in any map you will have one key which will reference to a value. So key value pair, and key can be number, it can be string or object. So here we have now, like any class, you have to create an object through a constructor of map. See the capital, it is in capital letter. So this map is a class, but you do not have to mention anywhere do not have to create any class like that. You just have to use it because it is supplied by JavaScript. Let map, this map is just a variable. It's an object. You have given a name of the object as map. You say new map. So now, unlike set, you are using not add but set. You are setting a key with a value. Key with a value. So the first parameter is always a key, and the second parameter is always a value. You are setting that. Now, unlike set, it will not also allow duplicates, but here it will not throw away this one. It will not throw away, it will not reject. But what it does, it will that Subhashish, Devashish, this key has to be unique. Any key in a set, in a map, you cannot have duplicate. That is the difference. So the key here, Devashish, has a value Java. Key here, Devashish, has a value Python. So what will it do? It will not reject the entire addition. What will it do? It will just replace Java by Python. So the latest value will be updated. That is the difference. So whenever you say log map dot keys, now that is a function for this object. It will return something. It returns an iterable of keys in the map. So this is a iterable object. So it iterates through the entire map. You are just going to print it here. Now, I'm saying that please print me the value of map has Devashish, whether it's true. Does this map has a value or has a key? Sorry, has means always the key. Has, you can have a key. So this is has. So how intelligent this editors are, as I have given this parenthesis, it understands that either you are using HTML or Bootstrap or something like that. So map has map dot has, you mentioned the key. Will it return true or false? It will return something. It will return true because it could find Devashish. Now console log map get Devashish. So what this get does? Get means it will use this key to get the value. Now whether it will pick up Java or Python, we will see. What do you think? What will it pick up?
So Python.
Python, because Java is no longer there. It has been updated or replaced by the value Python. Now, how do you iterate through? You have about that for off looping through the value and its corresponding value. It is like your Java for each or no. Anonymous for loop, right? Which is looping to the object. Now, this map is an object, so you can use for off. What you are doing, you might not need this let. Yeah, I think it can be done. That means you are saying that I want to loop through the map using for off, but using this format, that key value k comma, you can name it anything. You can say anything of v of map, but then here also you have to change and here also you have to change. Doesn't matter, but we know that it is a key and this one is a value. So better to say v, k and v, or you can say key value, also fine. Anything. whatever, just the name of the key. So the first parameter it understands for of, it always understands that this is key and this is value. Console log K, you are printing K first, that the key you want to know, colon and comma V. It's just the printing, the console log. So what will it print? It will say Devashish, something Python or Java, I don't know. Then Sneha set AI, that is there is a colon in between, colon AI IoT, and then it will print Subhashish Python. Another way, for each, again, you know, for any collection object, you can use for each, an iterator. Either you can go for this. You remember, you anonymous for loop. You similarly, you are picking up the key and the V, and you are printing into this. Here you are saying map dot for each V and K. Here is the trick. Never mention K and V. But the first parameter for each, it knows that for a map type of object, the first parameter is always a value. If you miss this out, you will get wrong output. You're getting me? Try to remember this. For a map object of type map, you always use for each, but that first parameter will always be a value. The second parameter will always be a key or a key. But when you print it, always remember, you want to syntax, you always try to see the key first and then the value. That's all. Let me try and run this.
কানেক্টই হচ্ছে না যে সন্দীপ দা
অফ করে on কি করে
অফ করে অন করছি তোমার
Deep, can you mute it? Okay, thank you. So just we will try to print it, run it, sorry. Node, and you say map here is what you are setting it. Then you are printing the, so you see that keys is nothing but a function which is a map iterator. So it is giving you the iterator, which is an sort of an array. It will return the array of the key value pair. So what are the keys? What are the keys? You are interested only with the keys, not with the values. So you use a keys function. The keys are Devashish, Snehashet, and Subhashish, because I cannot have two Devashish, two keys. They have to be unique. Fine. Has Devashish, that means whether it is this key is present in this keys. You say true. Yes, it is. It is found. And what is the value then? You use a get. It is the value is Python, not no longer Java. That is the difference. So Devashish, and now I'm printing it through for of. What I'm doing, I'm saying key colon V, key colon V value. Snehashet colon AI IoT, Subhashish colon Python. Okay, but similar outputs, very similar, but here you had always mentioned value as the first argument. Then only you will get it. Let's say I give just the way we have given K and V. I am saying for each K and V. Let's see what's the result. So now there is a confusion. You see, I am printing the value first, but whereas I wanted to, but I have given K. So basically, whatever you mention, see, name is name. Doesn't matter whether it's a K or V. So whatever the first parameter is, it will always store the value, not the key. So this is the wrong way of presenting. You cannot present the value first and then the key. Okay. So always give the key first, and to understand that, to get that, you have to give V here and K here. This is with for each, not for off. And once I run this now, you will get the correct one. See, now this for off output and this for each output is the same. That is the desired one. We come to an end of your JavaScript. So did you find it interesting? Have you learned a lot? I mean, there is nothing else
Yes, sir.
outside this topic. Everything will be covered if you follow these videos, and if you practice yourself, if you take notes. I think there is no one in this industry who can cross you and prove you wrong, your knowledge wrong in JavaScript. Not only the concern of the interviewer or interview, basically in your career of an IT programmer, you will find the knowledge is so helpful. But this will not be helpful unless you are doing it, working on it, or practicing it. So you just go through those videos, pause it, have your Visual Studio Code open, run the programs, write your own way of programming, like the program that you are trying to find out the prime numbers using a template literal between 1 to 100. You want to print all those values, prime numbers. You can do it and submit it today or tomorrow to me. I will be very happy that at least you have understood the topic. Or you can use a map also, map and filter and all those stuff to filter out all the prime numbers. Okay. In a set of say between 1 to 20, you will have first prime number is, you might consider 1 as a prime number or may not. 1, 2, 3. These are the initial prime numbers, but because these are you basically consider anything leaving those 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 are default prime numbers. Okay. So you start with 7, 11. So all these things are prime number. So let me see your program as well once you have done this. I will stop sharing, and also I will stop the recording